I see we have Dale, Leticia, Sean, Venus, um, Kwame, and a few other people who are joining. I'm just going to give everybody a minute. For those of you on the YouTube live, if you want to be a part of the meeting where you can ask questions, you can go to karaleise.com. You'll see a pop-up, and then you can go there, and from there you can get the meeting invite, and from there you can join, and we'll have the discussion. So yeah. All right. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Uche is joining. Welcome. In the meantime, while we're waiting, let me see where everybody's coming from. Put in the chat where you guys are joining from. Morning. Hi, Phyllis. See where we have people from. Don't be shy. Texas. Okay, cool. Nice. Thank you for joining from Texas. Amazing. Everybody know I'm already in Atlanta. By the way, this weekend we had like a windstorm in Atlanta. And the wind was just like blowing. I was like, what's going on here? London, Canada. Awesome. Thank you. Sweden. Wow. Sweden. That's nice. I think it's a odd time of day now. I think it's probably evening by now for you guys. UK also. Lisbon. Awesome. Wow. South Africa. Nice. I love to see where people are from. This is truly the global BA stand-up because you're all from all over the world. That's amazing. All right. So first, I want to start by thanking everybody for being a part. Let me put my glasses on so I can read this thing better. Being a part of the Global BA Stand-Up for last year. We've had 12 straight Global BA Stand-Up events. We really were consistent last year. We started it last year, and we've kept it up for the whole year. So this is going to be our second year having the Global BA Stand-Up, which is great. We want to keep going. Okay, we have people from West Palm Beach, Glasgow. Yes, awesome, nice. Yeah, so we really want to keep up with the Global BA Stand-Up, and I'm happy that you guys have joined. This is, again, a great place for you to come if you have a question about your career, if you just need some guidance, you want to hear what other people are doing in the field, and just a great place for us to meet together in this profession and have an open space where you can ask me questions. I can give you good practical answers, and you can be on your way. So a lot of people, when the year starts, have all of these wonderful vision boards, and you have these goals for the year, and a lot of the goals include your career goals. So if you have those goals for the year, this is a great time to really make that plan and make that commitment, right? And as you know, I have videos out there that already that can help you, and throughout the rest of the year, I'll be doing more videos, more sessions. There's consultation. There's so many ways that you can get help so that you can actually improve. If you already have a job, you can improve in delivery of that job. But if you haven't started yet, you can actually land the job. Last year was not a very good year for BAs. It was very difficult to get a job. People have been in the job market for months. People have been sending tons and tons of applications and not getting any answers. And there are reasons for this, right? In terms of having good resume, having the right connections, etc. But it was a tougher year than I've seen in a long time. But I want to encourage you that I've had people that have done consultations that I've known that have been able to break through, right? So even though it was rough, people were able to break through and get the job. So I'm hoping this year, you know, it's a brand new year. We don't know what's going to happen. We have a new administration. I don't know what other new rules are going to come out for the US at least. But let's see if we can try this year to accomplish some of the things that we didn't get to do last year. And for those of you who are still in the job hunt, let's not be disillusioned, right? Let's start the year fresh. Every day is a new day. Every year is a new year. And now let's put all of our ducks in a row. Let's get everything that we need so that we can go out there and we can get the job. And if you already have the job, you can maintain it and even get promoted in it so that you can do a good job and make the money, right? So we have a good plan for 2025. I wanted to talk a little bit too, just an overview of Karaleise YouTube channel and what we have been doing. A little bit of a year in review, like a little wrapped. You know, if you guys have Spotify, they give you a wrapped every year. So this is our kind of wrapped. So in 2024, we did a lot of things to help you to be more exposed to the practical world of business analysis. We had a lot of videos that we put out, a little bit less than before because I was focused on the membership. We had in total 40 new videos that we put out, and we grew to over 5,000 subscribers in addition to what we had before. And we actually reached 1.5 million lifetime views in 2024. So that's pretty amazing. Remember, we're not dancing videos, right? We're not out here giving comedy. We're not out here, shaking it and doing all that stuff. So it's very difficult to get to that level of success because what we're talking about is real stuff that when you watch it, you actually can take from it and apply it right away. So I try to make what seems like a boring content as lively as I can so that you can absorb it. And I try to make it as simple as possible so that anybody who's just starting out can understand what we're talking about and hopefully be able to apply that in the job and even in the interview, right? So our YouTube growth was great last year. We also had lots of live sessions. So we had Insightfuls, we had 4 for the year. And of course we had this Global BA Stand-Up, which we had for the 12 for the year. So we were able to have better touch points with you, and going in 2025, we're going to be doing the same. We also launched our membership program, which you guys would have heard about. We launched in November, and we've had great success. We had a lot of people sign up, and we've had live events. I think what differentiates us from other programs or boot camp is where a boot camp you just do 3 months and they teach you the basics and then they send you out into the world, right? But our program is going to take you the next step. So you've learned some things, you understand some of it, but you've never worked in the field. So you still feel kind of like imposter syndrome. With the back office club, you come in with that base knowledge, and now we show you how to apply all of it, right? And the beauty of it is you have courses where you can watch on your own time, but we have live sessions. So there's a personal touch. You get to talk, you're part of our stand-up, you're part of our live trainings where you can ask questions. So we force you kind of to make time for your career, right? It's 30 minutes during the week for a stand-up, and then we have a 1-hour session where we teach you on a specific topic. So for the month, you learn 3 new things. You have 3 hours of training that you're getting that are applicable. So it helps you to be committed. It helps you to hold yourself accountable so you can actually achieve the goal that you set out to achieve, right? So we launched the back office club in November, had good success with it. You guys can always go check that out as well. So that was one of our accomplishments. We also launched 6 courses also on the back office club that you can also go look at. So that's a good accomplishment. And in terms of our consultations, guys, that I still offer consultation a little bit less because my time is a little bit more spread out, but you can still book consultations. And actually, I have my first review of 2025. So shout out to Ivy if she's here. She did a consult with me and left me a review. So now I have that. And we have all 5-star reviews. So we have never gotten a 4 stars. Like, I feel like if I got a 4-star, that would be a failure. So when you do a consultation, I'm giving you above and beyond that, what blowing your mind more than what you'd ever expect, because I want you to be successful. I'm not gatekeeping. I'm not keeping anything to myself. I really want to give you every opportunity to go out here and make 6 figures, change your life, change the life of your family. It's just a job, but it's a job that pays well. And if you're not doing your own business that's earning that, you're doing a job, you're working for somebody, make it make sense. Make it make money, and I can help you to get there. And then the last thing we had as a growth for 2024 was we had a lot of website visitors. So our website, karaleise.com, grew to over 80% increase in the number of visitors that came. And people were coming there to look at the templates, because you can download free templates on the website. They were there to do the fit test. So I have a test that helps you to assess if you're a good fit for the BA career. And it's free. You get the answer right away, and you don't have to be a BA before to do the test. It's just everyday questions. If you're answering those everyday questions in a particular way, then I have a model that can determine whether you're a fit, an excellent fit, a perfect fit, where you need to work and where you need to focus your attention on. But people come to the website to do that fit test. And in 2025, I'm going to soon release another tool that helps you to understand the scenarios. So one thing is if you're a fit innately from what you've been doing, but I'm coming up with a tool that's going to help you. Okay, if you had this scenario as a BA, what would you do, right? And I'm going to give you some answers, and based on that, you can assess your competency. So I'm coming out with a competency level assessment test to help you to just think better, right? And come up with better analysis when you work on these software projects. So yeah, so we had lots of website growth. We had a lot of people from the UK, from Canada, from here in the US, also Australia and India were some of our biggest visitors from those countries. So thank you guys for all that support. But we had visitors from all over, right? When we look at our map, we saw a lot of touch points all over the world. So I'm very happy. I must have one person over here trying to make a change, right? So I'm very happy that that change is having some results. So that was our year in review, very successful year, trying to amplify that in 2025. Give more, give more, give more, give more. And a lot of what I'm going to be giving will be free. Some things I'll ask you to pay for, like the back office club. And if I ask you to pay for stuff, pay for it because you're going to get value. But I'm also going to give you a lot of free things as well, so you can really assess yourself and you can do better in your career. And you can really, when you land the job, you don't have to feel like, oh my God, I don't know. You will know because I'm going to teach you. Okay, so without further ado, thank you all for listening to all that. Let's start out with any questions that anybody has in terms of landing a job. So I see some people putting questions on the chat. I'm going to change the format a little bit. I'm going to open the floor to those on the call to ask questions, and then afterwards I'll look at the chat because it's a little distracting to try to follow the chat while I'm trying to listen to you guys. So we're probably going to do the chat later, and I probably won't get to all of it. So if you put it in the chat, you may have to speak it, right? So let me open the floor up to those of you who are still in the job market. Do you have any questions for me or anything I can help you with? Who wants to go first? And by the way, for those of you on the live, if you want to participate in the call, then you can go to karaleise.com. There is a pop-up. Click on it, sign up. You get the meeting invite, and you can join right now. And you can participate that way as well. All right? Okay, cool. Who wants to go? Don't be shy. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I think my volume is down. Hold on a second. Sorry again. Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Kelly's good morning. First of all, I would like to give you a big thank because of you. I got last month. I got a very good job.
Wait. Stop. Wait, hold on 1 second. We got to celebrate this.
Thank you so much.
It won't show on the recording, but congratulations on your new job. This is awesome. All right, go ahead with your question.
Thank you. So I was continuously watching your videos to refresh my all the BA topics, and it was really helpful before giving interviews. I was very much clear. I met all the doubts. So yeah, so I would like to thank you once more. So yeah, exactly. It was a very nice experience, and would like to take it forward to get more knowledge from your channel, YouTube channel, as well as from the course you just started. So yeah, exactly. I mean, thank you so much.
Awesome. Yeah. I love that. I really love that. Actually, I got an email today too from somebody who said they watched my channel and they were able to do well on the interview. And that is my real metric. I'm sorry I can't capture that somewhere. It's not about how many views you get and how much, all that stuff. It's how have you helped people to really make a change. So I'm so happy you said that, and I'm rooting for you. I hope that you do very well in the job, and if you need support, I'm here again. But yes, congratulations, and really good testimonial on that. Thank you so much. Awesome.
Thank you.
All right, anybody else in terms of the job hunt? Anybody else is in the job hunt who have any issues or any questions they want to ask? No?
Good afternoon.
Oh,
just quick question. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I know you said you just released 5 courses for the back office club. Do you plan on releasing them on your general website?
Okay, so, and we might have to clarify this. So on the back office club, you can become a member where you participate in the live events. You have access to our chat, or networking, you join and you have access to our tools, or you can just do the courses. So you don't have to become a member to do the courses. You can do the courses independently by themselves without becoming a member. So if you want to do a course, and we have several on there, you just go in there, you pay for the course, and you get access to it, and that's it, right? So that's a good question too. I know it might be a little confusing. You might think, oh, I have to be a member. So we have one of the membership that includes all the courses, But if you're not ready for that commitment yet, you can just do individual courses as you see fit. And then when you're ready to join, you can do that after as well. See,
Okay.
I give you
Thank you.
choices, right? I'm for the people. I'm for the people. I know what the people need. The people might just need the course right now. I'm not ready for the whole thing. So you can slice and dice as you see fit. All right, cool. Anybody else have any questions around job hunt or starting your career?
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi.
My name is Amu, and I recently graduated with my undergrad in information systems. And I'm trying to land a junior BA role, but it just seems so complicated. Like, I don't know where to start. So I just was asking, what's the best place to start?
So have you done any BA specific courses or just university courses?
I've done a bit of BA in my undergrad in my business management modules, but we didn't go in depth.
Right. So this is the thing I always say about university degrees. They're useful, you have to have them, but as soon as you leave, you got to go get a certification, you got to go learn how to actually do the job, which is unfortunate because you spend all this money in university and you're like, I'm supposed to leave job ready. But unfortunately, a lot of times we're not. So for you, I don't know what they taught you, but most of the time it's not enough for you to be able to get through an interview. So my suggestion is to do like a foundation course in business analysis because you need to know about the jargon, you need to understand the techniques, what is this job? So you need to have that first. Try
Oh,
to
wait,
find a junior. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
sorry, I forgot to mention that last year I did a certification with Automation 360. It was a RPA and business analytics certification, so I am familiar with it. I just don't know where to start in terms of looking for a job.
Yeah, RPA is a little new, right? And sometimes it goes more into machine learning and data analytics, which might be a slightly different career from business analyst purely because you have technical business analysts or IT business analysts that work with software development projects. And then you have more like a data analyst side, and then you have the machine learning and AI kind of stuff. So the one thing I will tell you is that regardless of which one, it is a little difficult to get a junior BA job. And the reason is because business analysts, we're almost like middle managers off the rip, right? Because we have to make decisions, we have to manage the tasks in front of you. And sometimes you're put in situations where you have to deal with clients, and there's a lot of things that we have to do. So it's sometimes rare to have a junior BA unless you have another BA that they're going to understudy. So I find that the amount of jobs for junior BAs is not as much. I would say two things. Even though you did the certification in RPA, I would say you still need, it depends on what you want to do. If you want to take your career into data analysis and maybe like AI, then you can go down that road. But if you want to be like a regular BA that can work in almost any software projects, you still need to do some kind of course on just business analysis, the fundamentals of business analysis. How we do elicitation, what documents do we create, how do we work basically, what techniques do we use. That's kind of a skill that you would need to get through the interview. And then once you get that skill, you can do a business analyst job. So you don't have to look for junior only. So I think if you can't get that now because you might be in a rush to get a job, everybody needs money, maybe you could do another more aligned job. When I got started, I was in tech support. I also did some IT stuff before, and then I transitioned into BA. So that's another option because you might not find junior BA as often to be able to get that job. But you could find something that's very aligned. That way, the skills that you'll pick up can apply to business analysis, and you can get those easier because those are more kind of entry level. So that's my approach to you. I think you can not only look for BA, but look for other like project coordinator, IT support, some kind of job that exposes you to projects and allows you to develop the skills to elicit requirements and work alongside BAs or project managers. And then you can transition into that because finding a junior BA job might be a little bit more difficult.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that was a long answer, but hopefully it helped. And of course, if you want to learn more, you can always find the templates, the courses. You can do a consultation. There's lots of details I can give you outside of this format to help you really structure where do you go and what skills do you have already that you can leverage so you don't have to start all the way over because you already have a degree and you've already done some certification. What can you use that to do that's related to BA so that you can make a bigger impact and start earning some money? Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, so let's move to those who already have a job and have a questions about their ongoing job. Let me see if there's any question in the comments. 1 second. I'll do the comments though, actually, if there's anything here about people trying to find a job. Um, so, is Areli here? Kwame Areli, I think you left a comment. Do you want to just explain it?
Okay, hi. I will try because English is not my first language, so you may have some.
And you speak so clearly already.
Sorry, thank you for encouraging me. First of all, I have a master's degree, but it's in another field, so it has nothing about BA. So a friend told me about this, and he said it would match with me because I did PSM certification, and I didn't work in that field, and I don't want to be taking courses and having certificate without working. So he told me about this and said it would work for me, and he actually I started also taking courses in Power BI too. So I'm not done with that. So my question is, I'm kind of thinking, can it really work for me? I know you said on your website I can go and do the test kind of. So I'll go there, but is it worth it? That's my question. And
You mean
what can I do? How can I apprehend that? How can I go through that?
You mean, is it
Because I
worth
really
it
want to work. Yeah.
to become a BA? Is what you mean? Becoming
Yes.
a BA? Okay. Wait, what's your
become a BA having Power BI? Do I need it? Do I don't? I don't know.
Okay, so let me make sure I understand the question. You want to know if, because you already did a Scrum Master, you said in the comment, and
Yes.
you've already studied for PSM, and you're asking now to do Power BI cert if that's worth it to become a BA, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I got it. What's your mother language? What language do you normally speak?
French.
Oh, French, awesome. I just a side note, I was in Montreal the other day and I
Yeah.
thought I knew a little bit of French and I kept my mouth zip because I was scared. I was scared to speak it wrong and I know that, I wasn't sure the Canadians would be accommodating of me speaking in French wrong. I only speak a little. I speak more Spanish than French, actually. But yeah, let me tell you. So I believe that certification education is very good, but I agree with you that I don't think you have to keep doing a whole bunch of certifications before you ever step foot into the career. I think if you're going to be moving into more data analysis style of business analyst, like you're working with big data, you're pulling up reports, you're doing analysis based on the data set, which is more of a business intelligence or a data analytics job, then yes, Power BI, Tableau, all of these tools will be very useful. But if you're working as a BA, working on software projects, you're working to build new software or build new mobile apps, you don't necessarily need Power BI to get started. So my answer is yes, it's a good thing to have, but do you need to have that before you can start looking for a job? No. You've already done the Scrum Master certification, so you're aware of how to work in Agile. You have all of my videos that's free on YouTube, right? You have enough tools to be able to get through an interview and be able to get a job and work as a business analyst. You don't even have to do a data intensive job. There's tons of jobs that don't require you to know Power BI, right? It's good to have, but it's also a little bit tangential to business analysis. It's more like business intelligence and data analytics, which sometimes the companies confuse. Because if you go to LinkedIn and you search a business analyst, you have to read the job description very carefully because sometimes the employers themselves don't know the difference between a business analyst and a data analyst. So they call a data analyst a business analyst. And when you look at it, all they're asking for is data and reporting and analytics and all the tools that you mentioned, Power BI and Tableau and all of these things, right? So you don't have to take that job. You can take another job that's more of a functional business analyst job. And also, if you know one of these tools, that's kind of enough, because the concept, a tool is a tool is a tool is a tool. You can learn tools, right? You don't have to be certified in all of them. You get in there and they say, okay, we're using Tableau. Okay, how does Tableau work? Where do we got the stuff? Where's the data set at? You learn it. Right? It's never be intimidated about tools in any interview, because you can always learn tools. Once you understand the concept and you understand what you're trying to accomplish, and you have the analytical ability to interpret whatever the tool is going to give you, then you can get through that interview. So I would say you don't need the Power BI cert. It's good to have, but you don't need to start. As a matter of fact, I would encourage you to start applying right now, right, for your BA job with whatever you already have. You have plenty. Okay, so let's do that. Good.
Thank you very much. This means I don't need to. Is there any course in BA, or I don't need anything to
So
get used to the BA?
so have you done any course in BA, or have you only done the Scrum Master?
Only the Scrum Master.
Okay, well, you do need a course, because typically people do BA course first before they do the Scrum Master, because you might get. I'm not sure if you fully understand how a Scrum Master works if you don't know how to what we're doing in agile and building software and so on. So even though the Scrum Master certificate is just a weekend, so people just take it because they want to have a cert, but you really do need to have a foundation in business analysis. What is this career? Same advice I gave to the other young man. What is this career about? What are the techniques that we use? How do we document? What are some of the things that we have to do to help the team to be successful? All of that needs to be understood to get through the interview and to do the job. So I would suggest that you do either a boot camp or a foundation course. I have courses on my website that you can take independently as well. You don't have to take the whole membership, just do the course by itself. And as a matter of fact, for everybody who either, well, I'll tell you about that later. That's a promotion I'll tell you about later. But yes, so you need to do a course. You could do it on Udemy. I don't gatekeep. If you want to do it with me, great. If you want to do it on Udemy, Skillshare, Pluralsight, do a boot camp. I don't care where you get it. But you need to understand the foundations of business analysis, because otherwise, how are you going to talk about the career in the interview? You won't get the job without knowing that. So the Scrum Master certification is not enough by itself. And running off to do Power BI and the others is not going to be the most useful thing to do with your money or your time. Because with Power BI, you're going to be learning a tool. What if the job you're trying to look for doesn't use Power BI? They use something else. Now you're going to have to learn that other thing too. So learning the tool is not the most important thing. Learning the skills. What is it that we do? That's what you need to focus on. The tool that you use to accomplish it later will be fine, but you need to know what to do. And that's what the foundation course will teach you. Okay? All right. Cool. Anybody else have any questions around just the job? Anybody already have a job and need some help in a project they're working on?
I have another question.
Okay, go ahead.
I just popped in my head while you were talking to the other person. Karaleise, how do you feel about, I guess this is, for those of us who are not BAs and, we're having a hard time finding, a junior or even associate BA role. Because a lot of them, the regular roles, I noticed they're asking for SQL or Power BI, so you could do data visual, the data boards and stuff like that. How do you feel about, like, I guess if you want to call it like a bridge job or the job before BA, so like project, something like a project coordinator, or like a product specialist or something like that. If you find that you can't directly just get in BA.
Yeah. So before I answer that, so somebody on the live is asking how they can join the meeting to participate. If you go to karaleise.com, there'll be a pop-up and talks about the BA Global BA Stand-Up. You can sign up there, and then once you sign up there, you get the meeting invite, and you can join right now and ask your question if you want to be a part of this. Okay. So just go to karaleise.com and follow the instructions there, and then you get to the meeting. All right, so you're asking if you want to start a job as a BA and you can't get a BA job, what would be good bridge jobs, like transitional jobs to get into BA, right? That's kind of the gist of it. Like I said before, finding a junior BA job is not as easy. They typically don't advertise junior BA. So if you find one, apply because it's rare. And you mentioned also that a lot of people are asking for SQL and all of these other things. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true. I find that there are jobs that will ask you for SQL, but I've found that there's a lot more jobs that are not even asking for that. The jobs that are asking for SQL and Power BI and Tableau and all of these things are more data-driven jobs. That's really a data analyst that the person putting up the job description call it business analyst, because a lot of companies are confused. The IIBA, unfortunately, and don't come from the IIBA, but you have not done a good job in helping the employers understand what a business analyst is, what a data analyst is. This is our international body that should be out here advocating for us so that we know what our career is. The employers are completely confused. They don't know what you're supposed to do. They say business analyst everything. They just throw you in with the kitchen sink. So you have to just account for that. You know, some things are going to be called business analysts that don't have anything to do with what we really do, and it's just the way of the world. It doesn't mean that you now have to bend into a pretzel and go study everything in the world just because they have a kitchen sink job description with everything that you shouldn't be doing. Over time, they learn, and over time, when they're working on projects, you find that companies become more streamlined in what they expect the BA to do. But if it's a new company that doesn't really know, they'll do that. And also Amazon, I find Amazon to be a big culprit because I'm always watching LinkedIn and I look at the Amazon business analyst jobs, and almost all the time they say business analyst and nothing but data. All they wanted to do is look at the big Amazon data with all of the stuff and analyze it and give them results and give them report, which is really a business intelligence job, not a business analyst job. But I digress. So a mid-way job, if you don't have all the qualifications. So let me say this first. I think you can get a job as a BA without having worked as a BA before, if you have the right approach. Because I coach people to do this all the time. Like I just coached this lady who have never worked in BA before. She's coming from nursing of all things, and she was able to land a job, right? So it's about how you're able to approach the job market, and having spent the time and energy and effort to understand what the BA job is and understand how to interview for the BA role. That's why I do the coaching on interviewing, because that's a different skill in and of itself. So I don't think you have to always start with a transitional job, but it can work, right? And I've done it when I started, because most people who become BAs, they didn't start off as BAs. They were doing something else and they fell into BA. So, it's a normal path. So I think if you do the foundation course and you've done Scrum Master certificate, you understand how to work in Agile, you definitely will have enough to be able to talk in an interview and possibly get a business analyst job. Right, not senior business analyst now, business analyst, because some people want to jump to senior right off the bat. No, it's just business analyst. However, with the state of the job market, you could take a job as project coordinator, because you work with project managers in that way, and you're helping them to plan and execute on the project. You can work in support, because with support you have to troubleshoot a lot. And that helps to build your elicitation skills, like asking questions, knowing where to go, knowing what to look for, seeing what needs to happen in the system, being able to report that up to the leadership to get that fixed. So support is a good job as well. Training is also good. So if you're doing training on the software tool that was just built, and you have to train the whole staff about how to use it, it helps you to understand the user side of things, and then you can easily use those skills to translate into when you become a BA. So I think those are some of the jobs that you can work with. I don't know if there's any other ones out there that may not be coming to mind right now, but those are some of the jobs that I think could help to get started, get one foot in the door, and then you can keep working towards getting the BA job. The only thing I would caution is I don't want you to get this transitional job and then get stuck in it. So some people get a job and then it's hard to just change, right? So if you're doing a transitional job, just give it a year and you need to be out of there into your BA job, right? So the problem is that when you start these transitional jobs, you get stuck, you get comfortable, you make a little bit of money, And now you have to do the same thing anyway. You have to go to the courses anyway. You have to learn how the BA role is anyway. So you still have to do the work, you're just delaying it by another year, right? So that's the only caution. So if you can spend the energy and effort now to do to do a course, to understand the foundation, to really put all of your energy in and just try to get a BA job, then you just start off with BA job and just continue there. After a year and a half, you can get into a senior BA job and make the six figures. It doesn't need to take you 5 years. You don't need to stay at this level as a BA for umpteen years. That's not necessary. After a year and a half, you can be a senior BA, you get your six figures, and you keep going. Okay, so don't get it stuck that you have to do all of this time, and you have to you have to give them all of your blood. You don't have to. You really don't have to. You can make a transition to a senior position fairly quickly if your company is allowing it, right? Okay, we have two more people with their hands up. We've got Tanatswa J. Hope I'm saying it right. Do you want to go ahead and ask your question?
Hi,
Hi.
Karen. Thank you so much. My question is, I hope it's okay if I call you Kara. I don't want to pronounce your name incorrectly.
Karaleise.
So, Karaleise, okay, thank you. Okay. So, my question is, I just graduated and I'm currently in the job market, and I'm currently enrolled on a course to get hands-on experience for like 9 months. Yeah, for 9 months. It's finishing in February. So I wanted to ask, when tailoring my CV, do I prepare one CV for a specific role, let's say Power BI, or I prepare one CV for the general industry, if it makes sense?
Yeah, so people ask this all the time. It depends, right? If I am applying, just applying, I have one resume that basically speaks to any job that's a BA job. You know already what they want. They're looking for a BA. They want somebody who can write documentation, list requirements, liaison with the team, can do design and workflow diagrams, somebody who can, communicate well with stakeholders. So you know the stuff that they want. It's kind of like every BA job wants this. So you put that into your main resume. Now, if you see a job that has a few little intricacies that you're like, wow, I really could do this job, I just need to add, maybe they need somebody who, you know, have some specific skills. Maybe if let's say you're healthcare, somebody who has worked with a particular type of tool in the healthcare sector. Okay, fine. Now you just adjust your resume and just add, okay, you've worked with this tool, Epic or whatever it's called, right? So you can update your resume if you really find a job that you feel like this would be the one, like this is a good job, and you really want to make sure everything that you're putting out there is going to match this job very well, you can update it. But I don't propose that you go out there and create a new resume for every single job application that you do, because it's time consuming, and some of these jobs are not going to call you back. Right? So people say that. I've heard advice that, okay, you go and you tailor each resume for each job that you apply for. I think with the business analyst role, you don't have to, because the things that you need to do or to perform the task or BA is kind of the same across the board, regardless of the project, regardless of the industry. It doesn't change that I'm doing business analysis on telecom versus business analysis on energy. It's the same thing. I'm eliciting requirements, I'm writing documentation, I'm working in agile, I'm conducting some of the scrum events, I am, working with a UX designer with the designs of the UI. Like, I'm doing the same things. It's just a different industry. So I don't think you have to change your resume for every job. I would say make sure the one resume you have does touch on all of these different things that the BA is supposed to be doing. And then if you find that one job that's like really, really good, fine, go ahead and edit that one resume, update that one, and send that one off. But I don't think you have to do it for every single job. Hope that helps. All right. Anything else? You're good? Okay, cool. All right, Venus?
Yeah, Candice, thank
Hey.
you. So, Candice, I have a question regarding the certification. So, overall, I have 11 years of experience, collectively from data analyst 2 years, somewhere in project management, and yes, 6+ year as a BA. So, in my current role, I'm working as a senior BA in a waterfall project. So, would you be able to suggest me for any certification? Should I go with certification like Scrum, Agile to transition into uh, Agile framework, Agile projects? So, I just wanted to understand it.
So you've never worked in Agile before?
See, I do have experience of Jira while when I was in my project management project. So yes, there my team was working in Agile, and I was closely working with all that back end, front end teams, UX, UI designers, and all that. So yes, if you say from user story acceptance criteria, yes, I do have a very good knowledge, and yes, I refresh my knowledge from your videos as well. So yes, collectively everything is there in
Yeah.
I mean, I can do that. I have confidence. So I just wanted to understand, like in my current career, being experienced in a BA field, do you suggest me go for the certification for the next role?
Yeah, so the certification I find is something that you do for you to feel like you're a professional and also something you put on your resume for the next job. It rarely affects how you perform in the actual job, right? Or if your company would pay you more because you have the cert, then by all means go get the cert. So it's really just it's unfortunately, it's a piece of paper, right? And I think that a lot of jobs are not asking for it, like demanding. Like, for example, if you were a project manager and you don't have a PMI cert, you're not even going to get the job. You won't even get called. You're done. But for business analysts, the cert that probably is the most asked for is a CBAP, right, from IIBA. So if you want to do that one, that would be great. And you already have hours of a work experience that you can use to add towards that. So that would help. For Agile, you can do the Scrum Master Certificate. But again, that one is just within a weekend. If your company is paying for it, go ahead and do it. But the truth of the matter is, and I've done a few of these, is that what they teach you, and it doesn't matter which teacher, I'm not saying the teacher is not great, but what they teach you is really what you already know, to be honest with you. So you're just getting a cert to have the stamp to say you've done it and you know it, but it really doesn't really help you in the interview if you're going up, because what you're doing is more practical and you're able to answer the questions better because of your experience as opposed to the cert. Now, is it valuable to have the cert? Yes, it is. When you're going for your next job and you say you have certified in Scrum, you have CBAP certification, it makes it seem that you're more committed to your career and you're more invested in your career. So it does have a good impression and it's very good. But that's where it stops. Okay. So for those of you who don't have a cert, doing the cert is not going to mean that you know how to do the job, unfortunately. Especially if you're doing the CBAP. The CBAP is going to help you get formalized with the terms, formalized with the techniques, formalized with how we work as a BA. But it's what is missing, in my opinion, is the practical part of it, like how you apply what you're learning. So it feels like this is the book learning, and then when you go into job, it's a whole different world. The world of real work and the world of the book and the search is two different worlds. So that's the difference. But in your case, Venus, because you've already worked in the field, you've already been a project manager, you've already worked with Jira, you already have the knowledge. I think having the cert just to be that, that checkbox would be good and would be impressive. So I would encourage you to do the cert just for that reason.
Sure, Candice. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, Jasmine T, go ahead.
Hi, Karaleise.
Hi.
Good morning. It's morning on my end. Good morning.
Me too.
First, I want to say thank you for your videos. They definitely helped me get through school.
Awesome.
As I was taking my course. So I left a question in the chat, but your responses to the other questions kind of gave me some more questions. So the first one, as a junior BA, I guess what industries do you kind of recommend? Maybe an easier path for us. For example, I was watching another video and I remember someone mentioning starting off at like a university or educational program may be easier to get into and kind of learn your way through versus another industry. I kind of wanted to know, I guess, what you thought about that. And the transition option that you said, like starting at another role and then transitioning into a BA, does your program kind of offer that, like to keep our skills up, like projects that we can do to kind of stay sharp in our in those BA skills that we can stay in, I guess, while we're in that role before we transition into a BA? That's it.
Yeah, let me answer the first one first. So, um, in terms of what industry, I didn't hear about education before, but now I think about it, that's a good idea. The only thing that I've found for the people who I know who have gotten jobs as BAs in education is that they don't typically do full BA work. They end up doing more like data analysts, where they're getting the data from the students who enrolled and they're doing analytics and they're showing them some graph to say this is how much admissions we have and how many people so and so. So I rarely see them doing like eliciting requirements and all of the core BA stuff. Although I do have one person who they had to implement a new system, and so the university bought a new system and they had to implement it, and they worked with the team to try to get that system up and running. So that was a good experience for them. So I'm just saying, I don't know if education is the best one. It's easier because maybe you already made some connections at university that you were studying at, and you may know some of the faculty, and you could try to. They already know you from the courses, and maybe they taught you, so they can refer to you and try to get you started. So maybe that could work. Um, I find that for BA jobs, though, the three industries that are the most that are top is IT, like anybody who's building software in any kind of way. Finance, so fintech, so anybody who's in banking is another high employer of BAs, and then healthcare is another one, and also consulting. So consulting, the thing about consulting too is they hire a lot of BAs, and sometimes they do have junior BA because they do a lot of analysis, and they might need extra hands to help them get that done because they have big projects. But there are burnouts. Like if you work with these big six consulting companies, you're working day and night, but you're young, so you can afford to, you can afford to like put in hours. So those are the four big industries that I see hire BAs. But of course, you don't have to wait. Again, sometimes you have to create your own path. So if you have a connection with somebody, or you want to start at your university because you've already been there, you know them a little bit more familiar, you can reach out to see if they have any junior positions that they can do. If you know any small businesses in your neighborhood that, any business has the same problem. So even though we're doing business analysis at a big level, any business has the same problem. They might need a website. They might need to manage their clients better. Any small business that would be willing to help for you to work with them to try to improve an area of their business, a part of their processes that's not good that you've identified, you can reach out to them and see if they'll be willing to hire you on as an intern, a new grad who's willing to take their knowledge from the university and apply it to their business. Maybe they'll be willing to do that. So sometimes you have to chart your own path to try to get the experience. And then we talked about having a transitional job, right? Doing something else like in support or something that's slightly related, and then you can try to transition into the other role. The other question you asked was about the back office club and whether we help you to get that exposure. And the answer is yes. That's our entire reason for being. So when you join the back office club, we have several events that we have. We have a stand-up where we talk to you about, we have two stand-ups actually. One is called Job Seekers Stand-Up. The other one is called Career Excellence Stand-Up. The Job Seekers Stand-Up is for everybody who's a part of the back office club who are in the job market. So we ask you questions about what you're doing to improve your ability to get a job and what challenges you're having. Some people have challenges with their resume. Some people have challenges with answering the interview questions. Some people are just nervous. Whatever it is, we try to collectively help you with that. And then every Wednesday we have a training session. Well, 3 Wednesdays out of the month, so 3 Wednesdays out of the 4 Wednesdays of the month. We train you on particular topics. Like right now, we're working on a project. So you get a real world project and you work on it on your own, but then we come together and you can get my input and we work together on it. Like, well, how do you ask the questions? Who do you talk to? Where do you find these stakeholders? What would you say to them? How do you come up with the backlog? Like all the little details that you would need to execute on to do the job, you practice that with the back office club and the back office club projects, which are all real projects and real things I've worked on. So yes, that's how it gives you the confidence to do the interview because you've seen it before. It's not going to be new. You've seen how we work, right? So that's what the back office club does. So one, yes, if you can find a job with education, or if you can find a job with a small business in your neighborhood, or you just keep looking for like a BA job, basic BA job, you can do that. And yes, you can get the knowledge that you want to how to work as a BA when you join the back office club as well. All right,
Thank you.
You're
One
welcome.
last question. Now
Okay.
that you said that, so do you guys also offer like support when we're in the role as a junior BA? Like, does the back office club offer that support too? Like, say if we have a question and we're probably the only BA that was hired, like you have mentorship for that part as well, right?
That is what the back office club is. Remember, it's a
Oh,
network.
perfect.
So when you join the network, there's two types of people typically: those looking for a job like yourself, and those who already have a job. For the people who
Perfect.
already have a job, they may have a question. Oh, I'm working on this project. I have this particular situation. What do we do? What's the best way to do that? The whole network is there that can help you. Not just me. Other people who have worked in the field can help you as well. And with the back office club, whichever membership you have, we have a repository of documents and templates and examples that you can go and look at. So you may not even have to ask anybody. Let's say you're doing, like we have one example where this guy, he's working as a BA already, just got promoted to leader, actually. So I'm so proud of him. And he started not knowing how to be a BA. And he did some consultations with me. He was able to excel in the job, and within 1 year, he got promoted to being the lead over people that were there longer before him, so it's a whole thing. So if you need to, let's say he wanted to get the requirements document to do a SOW, which is a statement of work, and he didn't have that. Well, we have a whole folder with all of these documents. Here's an example of the business requirements document that was written for this project on this type of industry. Here's an example. You can copy that, change it up, and do it so you can work faster. Why are we all doing the same thing? I'm writing requirements document, you're writing requirements document over here for airline, you write one over here for lumber, you write one over here for energy. We're all kind of doing the same thing. So what if we came together, and here's some examples so that you don't have to struggle to figure it out because somebody has figured it out before you already. So that's the benefit of the back office club. Not only do you have the support, that you have a group of people you can ask questions if you're in the job. So you no longer have to fear getting the job and feel like you don't know how to do it, because you don't have to expose yourself to the people who hired you. You have a separate group of people who are rooting for you that know how to do the job. You can ask a question safely without exposing yourself, right? And you have the documents, you have templates, we have live sessions. So I'm not trying to sell you on the back office club, but that's what we do over there, right? Well, I am trying to sell you, I guess. But yeah, that support is there for you so that you can do that. So you have real projects. So we're not making up stuff. There's no need to make up stuff because we have so much examples already. And then you have support, live support, where you can talk to somebody if you get stuck, and then you can just you can be successful. When I was coming
on
up,
the website, it doesn't have the because I'm literally about to sign up as you're talking, but I don't see, it doesn't let me join, or it doesn't show the pricing to join. Is the link? It says the link is no longer active.
on which website you're on? Backofficeclub.org?
I am on your main website, Karaleise.com, the back office club membership.
Okay, so go to backofficeclub.org, and that's where you see, I'll check that link later. I'm not sure which link you're talking about, but if you go to backofficeclub.org, then you'll see everything there, and there'll be a tab for pricing, and you can sign up from there.
Got it. Thank you so much.
All right, cool. Okay, we only have like 7 minutes. Oh my goodness, time. Where did the time go? Okay, Folashade, go ahead.
Hi, Karaleise. Good
Hi.
evening from here in the UK.
Hey.
I have 3 questions. I'm currently on a job as a BA,
Okay.
and it's a cost project, commercially off-the-shelf application. I've done my requirement catalog with the stakeholders, and I shared with the supplier. But they came back to say that, they are unable to accept this because prior to the RFI, that's prior to even when I joined, an RFI was sent out, and they've given their responses to the solution requirements. But I noticed that some of the requirements cannot be met. The requirements that instead cannot be met. How do I go about that?
What do you mean it cannot be met? So let me understand. They sent the RFI, and for those who don't know, this is a request for information to the vendor, The vendor
Yeah.
replied with what they can do, right? So can you do
Yeah.
this? Can you do that? Yes, we can. No, we can't. Whatever, right? They send that back.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then now you're saying that those things cannot be met.
Okay, yeah, so not that really. You know that the requirement that was sent to the vendor was the detailed requirement. So when I joined, I came up with it was high level requirement. When I joined, I came up with a detailed requirement into the solutions of the requirement.
Yeah.
So some of those detailed requirements cannot be met, because it's into detail, which was what I stated with the stakeholders.
Yeah.
And how do I go about with the project sponsors as well as the stakeholders? I have 3 questions. I'll just quickly run through. The second one is, proud to that as well. During my early station with the stakeholders, I came up with the to-be process map, which I reviewed with the stakeholders alongside with my requirement catalog, and they were okay with it. But now that I've come to realize that I have to align my to-be process map with what the solution is able to do. Is that how it works, right? I need to align, so I'm beginning to understand their system, and I'm coming up with the to-be process map. Prior to now, I know that you have to come up with a to-be process map even before you develop your application. But it looks as if in cost project is the other way around. You have to look at what the solution is able to provide, then you come up with your to-be process map. My third question quickly is on the...
We're not going to get to the third one. Keep going.
So my third question is on my role as a BA on the project, because it looks as if most of the customization will be done by the admins, not the supplier. So I want to ask, is it my job to customize the system for them, or it is the job of the system admin to do that? It looks as if I've even started doing 1 or 2 things for them on the system, because I'm gathering requirements, I'm gathering data from stakeholders, and I'm just uploading it into the system.
Yes. Okay. So we're gonna run out of time. Before I got all your questions, I'm gonna answer them all. But we're gonna run out of time. Before we get to the answers to that, I know some people might have to drop because people are at work and so on. If you have to drop, that's fine. But I just want to mention a promotion that we have for January. For anybody who signs up for January as a back office club member, or anybody who already is a back office club member and you renew, we're going to be giving you access to one of our courses on the back office club called How to Write User Stories in Jira and DevOps. And this is going to take you from 0 to being able to work on a project. I promise you. I did that. I designed that course. I would deliver that as a live course, and people were so excited about it. So if you sign up for the back office club membership, any level, essential, professional, or masters, you will get access to that course. It's a $120 course, but you get it for free with your sign up for signing up with the back office club. So just want to bring that out there for you guys. So if you sign up for the back office club, go to backofficeclub.org, and that's the promotion for January, because I want you to be successful and you're going to get all the tools. This is a course that is very in-depth, starts from 0, and just as she mentioned, the COTS project, one of those examples is a COTS project. So how do you work as a business analyst on a commercial off-the-shelf, COTS means commercial off-the-shelf project, where you're not building software, you're implementing one that already exists. So that would be a great course for you guys. So think about doing that. All right, so for those of you that can stay a little bit longer, I'm going to answer her question, and then I'm going to go to the idea board and talk about the questions over there. So if you can stay, I have some time. If you can stay a little bit longer, then great. If not, then thank you so much for joining. For those of you who have to drop at the top of the hour. And I hope to see you in the next Global BA Stand-Up, which is going to be every Monday, the first Monday of every month, for the rest of 2025. All right? Okay, so back to your question. And there were 3 questions. So the first one I heard was, you're working on a COTS project. You sent them an RFI before you joined, and then they got the high-level requirements. Now, when you come in as a BA and you go into the details, now you've written the detailed requirements, you realize that there's some gotchas. There's some things that don't work. The things that you thought they could do wasn't able to be done. And this is a very common problem on COTS project and any project at all. So if you're working as a BA, this is something that you're going to face, because what it tells me, and maybe because they didn't have a BA before you joined, what it tells me is that they did not do a good assessment of that vendor before they agreed to choose that vendor. So I have a video there about how to choose a vendor. What are the things you need to look out for when you're choosing a vendor for your software project? Because they will tell you fluffy stuff and say, yes, they can do stuff. And when you get into the details, like, well, it's not exactly what I thought it would do. And that's what's happening to you guys. So it sounds to me like we didn't do a good assessment of the vendor, and we didn't have enough detail in our requirements to know what's not there, what's there. But here we are. You've already got the vendor, signed the contract. Now you have to fix it. So if it is that they don't do the thing that needs to be done as a business requirement from the business, you're either going to have to pay them to customize the software to fix it, to be able to do it, or you're going to have to live without it, unfortunately. That's the only two options. They're either going to build it in, or you're going to do without it. Or a third option could be there's a workaround in another way that can accommodate it. So we need to figure out, is there any workaround that can be done with the existing tools and configurations that they already have? Or is it something that they could build in based on the requirements that you now need? Or can the organization survive without it and have a separate way to do whatever you need to get done that doesn't include that COT system?
Yeah, that's fine. So when I had that discussion with the functional owner, like the call, and she said, well, it's a nice to have, that's okay. If they're unable to deliver it, that's fine. Because that solution is being used, it's an industry-wide solution. A lot of the institutions are using it, so they are okay with it, even if they're unable to deliver some of
Sometimes you could be so big that the little things that you don't have, people would be okay with living without it. Like if I've done implementation of Salesforce, where Salesforce doesn't do something that we did before, and they're like, oh, it's Salesforce. They do so many other good things, we'll just live without this one.
Exactly.
So that's the one. The second one you mentioned was about the process maps. So you designed your to-be process, right? And then now you find out that the requirement cannot be met. So your to-be process is out of whack. It's now obsolete, basically, because it doesn't match, because the system can't do it. So you have to redo the to-be process to actually reflect what the new process will be with whatever the capability is of this COT system. Do you understand? Like it's your to-be process right now is idealistic. In the best case scenario, we would have all these things, but it's not reality anymore. So you have to redo your to-be process map to now reflect the new steps that can be taken, so that it is actually reflecting the real world of the project. And then the last one was, you're asking about your role as a BA on a COTS project.
You know why I need to the upload of data, because it is the job of the institution to upload their data, not the supplier. And the person that attended the training, I know she's very busy, so it looks as if the whole work would then fall on me, because if I'm asking her questions, I know that she will not be able to upload those data. How do I go about it to say that, well, I could do it for you, but hey, it's not my call though?
Yeah, I don't like to suggest things unless I really want to do them. So it's a fine line. The reason why I laughed is because in my role as a senior BA, I'm doing a lot of things that's not even on my job description. Okay, I do things I don't even need to be doing. But sometimes I do them if it's going to be helpful for the team, and I can do them. And you know, sometimes when I give extra stuff, I don't really count it because I get back extra stuff sometimes, right? So I am more flexible because I'm working with a very good team, highly professional people. You know, everybody's really fully invested. I don't feel like everybody's watching time. You know, if I need to take time and do something, I go do it. You know, so I have a lot of things that I can leverage. So if I need to do something extra, I don't feel like I'm not the kind of person that say, oh, 5 o'clock, gotta go. You know, if I have to, do something at 5 o'clock, yes, I'm out. Okay. But if I need to stay and do something else, I do it because I have a good environment I'm working in. So it really depends on your environment. If you're not in a toxic environment where they're pulling you to do more and more things and expecting more and more and just overburdening you, then if you see an opportunity to help and you can help, then fine, go ahead and do that. Typically in a COTS project, the BA role is limited to getting the requirements done, right? To figure out what do we need from the system, and then working to create the user stories or requirements document that would say this is what the system must accomplish, and then creating that, maybe it's an Excel sheet or some table that says the configurations that we need. So this thing is turned off, this thing is turned on, this thing is configured with this value. It's like all of those mappings or where the fields go, the BA would do that. And then we typically hand that over to an admin or a backender or somebody who would then do those configurations. If it is that that person is not available or they didn't do the training or they're out or whatever, and you have the capacity and the access to be able to do it, and you can do it.
Yeah.
You know, it's
All
good.
right, great.
And then,
Already started
and then,
though.
but listen, this is January. Come December, when you do your performance review, or whenever you do your performance review, hey,
Yeah.
take on more responsibilities. You know, when we had implemented the system, I did the configuration, I did the admin. Make note of all the things that you're doing,
Yeah.
because you're gonna call them out when you have to do your review, your
Yeah.
performance review. You know what I mean?
That's good. Yeah, great then. Thank you, Karaleise.
All right, good, awesome.
Thank
We
you,
have a
well
couple
done.
more people with
Cheers.
their hands up. Let's see what else is going on. Who else want to go? I think Margot, you had your hand up. Go ahead, Margot. Welcome back. Happy New Year.
Welcome to my I'm so happy to be back. I just love your content.
Thank you.
I'm enjoying. On that note, is there a way to just join all of them to where I don't have to register? Because there are sometimes I'll get it and I'll realize like, oh dang, I didn't log in quick enough. So is there a way, or I'll go to the link and it's not there because I didn't register. I just have the email to tell me
No,
about it?
actually, I think something happened last year, and Joshua and I have worked tirelessly to fix it. In December, we had a configuration change on our systems, and when people were trying to join last Global BA Stand Up, it was kicking them out. But so we fixed that. So the meeting invite that you have now will be the same one we use every month. So you really don't have to
Okay.
re-register every time. It's only for new people, to be honest. But we had to kind of ask you to re-register this time because we had a technical issue last month. So we solved that. And so going forward, just save this invite to your calendar and it will remind you, and then you can just join.
And you said it's going to be the first
The
or second
first Monday of every month. Everybody who's listening to me on the live as well. The first Monday of every month at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be having this BA Global BA Stand Up, where you can come. Those of you on the live, you can join the meeting if you register on karaleise.com. You ask a question, the same format we're having right now. And so it's
Okay.
the first Monday of every month. So the dates may change. Right now it's 6th, but it's the first Monday of January. So, so February, March, the same thing. And it's the same invite. So once you register one time and you save that meeting invite in your calendar, you can always join it again in the future.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm gonna add it to it so I make sure I don't be late next time.
Yeah.
Again, I love your content, Karaleise. So thank you so much for giving us
Thank
these
you.
resources.
And
And
yeah, last year I didn't do as much videos as I would have liked to. I did the videos, I just didn't upload them because I was in so many different things, traveled a lot, did a lot of stuff. But this year I'm really going to be focused on putting out content, and I'm starting to do more answering specific questions because I find that people get stuck in some little small things. So I'm going to be answering specific questions in my videos a lot, like how do you use Jira to manage a release, right? Or how do you change from Epic to a PBI, for example, in DevOps, right? So I'm gonna do some of those little tutorial that's very short to answer specific things so that people who get stuck can find that. And I'm also gonna be doing, like I mentioned earlier, the competency test, which is, so I have the fit test where you test if you are fit for the BA role. I'm going to come up with a competency test, which is if you were a BA and you were presented with this scenario, what would you do? Just like the question she asked. If you're working a COTS project and the requirements could no longer be done by that vendor, what would you do, right? So it helps you to start thinking about the scenarios that we face every day in the job And it'll be multiple choice, so some of the answer will be kind of there. You just need to pick the right one, but it helps you to think about that, and that will help you to have more confidence that you can do the job, and I think that would be helpful for people. All right, cool. All right, so I have some time. I'm going to be here for the next probably half an hour or so. So anybody else have any questions can go ahead. Oh, I think MK Knowledge, you had your hand up. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, Carol.
Hey.
Thank you so much for the nice content that you are making so far. It's
Thank you.
really helping too much across the world. So I'm following you from India, and thank you so much for your content. And I love so much your RPA business analyst. RPA is like robotic process automation. So I do have 3 years of experience working as an RPA business analyst, where I worked in the banking domain using the agile Scrum framework. So during the RPA implementation, I never get a chance to write the user stories, because while in RPA, what happens, like we automate the repetitive work. So for example, if a person wants to open a bank account or just wants to transfer a fund from one account to another account, this process needs to be automated. So there is already existing process which was earlier done manually. Now it has been like it is got automated using the Blue Prism or UiPath. But now I move to the traditional business analyst role. So I am currently working in the banking domain, and for one of the banking client. Now my question is, like, I'm facing a lot of difficulties writing the user stories. As I mentioned, like, I don't have hands-on experience writing the user stories. So how to cope up this thing, like how to manage this?
Well, I
Maybe
can
you are
only
aware.
I can only tell you that you have to learn how to write user stories. You have to learn how to write them, and it's not something that it's as easy as people think. It's not like you're writing like a paragraph. Like, you have to have certain skills in writing the user stories, because remember, you're writing it for development. The consumers of your user stories are developers, right? They're not there to discuss and have a long discussion in the user story. The idea for you to be able to write good user stories, and I talk about that in my course. I have a course called Best Practices for Writing User Stories, and I have a course called How to Write User Stories in Jira and DevOps, which is the one I told you that you'll get this month if you join the Back Office Club. In that course, I teach you, before you even write the first line of your user story, how to know what to write. So writing is not the problem. It's like, even what do you write? How do you take a big feature and you break it up small enough to be at the right level of detail, and then have the discussion with the team to know exactly what details need to be put in the acceptance criteria of the story. So it's a skill, right? But you have to learn to write the user stories, because otherwise you're going to struggle. Because the artifact that everybody's looking for you for is the user story. And they focus on writing it, but what you really need to focus on is how to elicit the requirements to write in the user story. So what questions to ask, who to ask, where do you get the requirements from? Is it from the UI design? Did they already discuss it with the user? I know you're working in banking. There's so many different regulations and different things you have to know about. So I would say knowing what the requirement is the first step, and then being able to break it up small enough to be functional in each user story is the next step, and you probably have to do a course to do that. There's no shortcuts. You have to, yeah. And in the job that you have, if there's another BA that's there before you, you can see what they did, right? So sometimes you can look at the backlog that they have. Are they using, you said it's Scrum, but are you using Jira or are you using DevOps?
So we are using Jira.
Okay.
Jira board.
So if you can look at the other projects that's there, and if you have access to the other projects, and see the user stories that's written before by others, it doesn't mean it's perfect, because I've seen some people write some other user stories. I'm like, what is this nonsense, right? It's a bunch of fluff and a bunch of stuff. So I don't know what you'll find, but you can go and look and see what's in the projects before you and how they broke it up and the epics that they're using, etc. And that would give an idea of how the quality of the user stories that they're expecting. But it's more important to know what to write and how much each user story needs to have. And then the format can just, you can follow the regular format that they have. So I encourage you to do my course on how to write user stories for Jira and DevOps, because in that course I have 3 projects that we work on, 3 banking projects, which is perfect for you.
Yeah.
One is a COTS project, one is an implementation project, and one is an enhancement project. So you're just enhancing a feature, you're building a whole new software, and the other one was you bought a software, you want to implement it. So those 3 are covered. But I also have free videos. I have some free videos about writing user stories out there that you can go and watch on YouTube. I also have articles about writing user stories. I have templates that are for free on my website. Go to karaleise.com/templates. You can download some templates from there. So you have resources, you have free resources, and if you want more help, you can always come and I can work with you on that. All right? But you have to learn.
Yeah.
Because I worked on a project
Thank you.
once.
So this is the first time I joined your live session. It's very interesting. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I worked on a project, I was about to say, where we did some kind of RPA, but we were using BPMN, and it was an automated flow in the background. So we take the application from one step to the next. So that part you didn't have to write out the user story for, because that was like automated. But then you had to do the UI piece that would be presented each step. So we had to write that. So it's very interesting, the RPA part of it. It's very interesting. I would love, part of my career goal eventually is to get into more AI stuff and machine learning stuff. I haven't found the time to do that yet, but that's something I really want to get into. I think that would be very interesting for me. So I'm cool. It sounds cool. All right, Labostic, go ahead. Thank you so much, MK. Go ahead, Labostic. And welcome back. Happy New Year. Thank you for joining. Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good.
I mean, just like every other fan here, we receive so much value from you. I've been following you for years, even before I started my BA career. I've now been working as a technical business analyst for the past 1 year.
Nice.
But I never miss any of these sessions. I'm tuning in now from work, actually in a meeting as well. So I've muted myself and put myself off camera just to be able to listen to those golden nuggets again.
Awesome.
My question, Karaleise, is I think you've mentioned something just now. I was going to ask you, there was a session we did. It was a course implementation and then enhancement that we had to pay for. 7-hour session. That particular session helped me in the current project I was working on at the time. And I was a star on that project just because of attending, and I kid you not, that particular session, because Figma designs, I had to work on Figma designs, and so many things that came up during that session.
Yes.
Even the use of mirror board and all of that.
Go.
I was just, I upped my game
there
on
you
the
go.
back of that particular event. Yeah, so I'm very, very, very happy. I never ever to miss any of these sessions. Is there any time soon, or is it part of the back office
crowd
now, or is there any such session coming up anytime soon on its own?
You mean the insightful?
Yeah.
I need to check on that, because Joshua, keep me honest here. We didn't have insightful as a part of our goals for this year, did we? Or did we? I think we did. Did we have insightful session for this year, 2025?
I think we did.
We did?
But,
okay, all right. Because me and Joshua, we do our yearly plan, and we say what we're going to do for the year. I think we said live sessions would be a part of it, so that's good. So what you're talking about is this session that you attended that we found very helpful. It has become a course, and this is the course it has become. How to write user stories in Jira and DevOps is what I was telling MK earlier. So this is the course that go from the live session that you had, and actually you have access to this course if you sign up, because you attended the live one. You, Labostic particularly, you can send me an email. I'll send you a link to how to get to watch this course if you want to rewatch it. Because we have added some additional things in here. We have quizzes in here, right, which you didn't have during the live session. We have more documents that you can download, like templates and stuff from the requirements that we wrote. So we have enriched the experience for the course And I'm giving people who are in the live session access to this for 2 months so that you can see how it worked out, right? And all the questions that were asked are all here. So it's a very thorough course. If you do this one, you walk away knowing how to write user stories in these two main tools, Jira and DevOps, and you'll be clear. You'll be clear as day. So I think it's a good investment for you guys. So yeah, so we'll have insightfuls the rest of this year. I don't have any scheduled yet. The one that I was asked to do was insightful workshop, which, as Labastic says, is just like a 4 hour long workshop. In this case, we went for like 7 hours, but we do hours at a time on a real project, and it's a session like this, and everybody asks questions, and we work on it, and it's from a real project. So the one that I was asked to do was on process map and how to design process maps. People struggle with that a lot, just being able to, come up with the steps and the decisions and so on. So that would be probably the next one that I would create. But I don't have a date for that yet. But yes, I'm hoping to to do that in 2025. So good call out there, Labastic. Okay, cool. Thank you. All right, Oye Lola. I'll give you, and we're winding down. We're gonna end at 11:30. So Oye Lola, go ahead.
Thank you, Karaleise. Thank you so much for your content. That's been really helpful. So I haven't actually started a job as a business analyst. I heard too because I've been watching your videos and it's been really helpful. I'm just a little confused with process maps and UML. Do they mean the same thing?
No, so UML is Unified Modeling Language, right? It is a set of different design or diagramming tools that was invented primarily to help software developers understand the software they're building, right? Back in the 80s when we were building software like crazy, we just didn't have the proper language to talk about what we're going to build. We didn't have business analysts as formalized as we do today. And it was very confusing just to transfer the concept to the developers. And there was a lot of missed opportunities in understanding. So software is coming in, over budget, not meeting what the requirements were. There's a lot of problems in the 80s and 90s. So the UML was designed to give the software architects and the developers a tool for them to able to understand what they're building. Like you have sequence diagram that would say this API call goes to here synchronously and goes to here asynchronously, and then they know what that meant, right? So UML has a number of different diagrams. You have context diagram, sequence diagram, activity diagram, all kind of diagram, right? So that's what a UML is. Now, process flow is a type of diagram that shows the process steps. In the UML format, it's called activity diagram. But process flow by itself, or workflow diagrams, is just a general term for those types of diagrams. So don't be confused with UML and just the process flow. The process flow diagram, because with UML, there's certain notations that you have to use, certain way the diagrams are drawn, certain annotations you have to put beside each of the lines, and it can get quite involved. But, these are problems that I feel like you have in academia. People who are studying it have these problems. In the real world of work, when you're presenting a process flow diagram to a team, nobody's concerned that, it doesn't match an exact, UML. Nobody's concerned about, oh my God, he didn't put a line over here and didn't have the annotation over there. This is a book learning problem. In the real world of work, you just need to make sure that it's clear what you're trying to diagram, what you're trying to show. You use your process steps, use the decision boxes, you use the lines, you have the arrows going the right way, it's not crossing over each other. And once you can explain it, it's fine. I don't find people being judged because you're not using a UML diagram or not using an activity diagram. As a matter of fact, I find that when you use too much complicated diagrams, trying to use every shape that there is and everything that there is, you confuse people more than you help them. So I would say keep it simple. Just use a regular process flow or an activity diagram that shows the swim lanes of who's doing what when, and that's all you need. You're fine.
Okay, so basically they both mean the same thing. Like we're using it to like show processes. We're using it to maybe describe from the as this to the to this state.
No. So a process flow diagram shows the process. UML diagrams are different types of diagrams that show different things. You have a context diagram, which shows the context of what you're building. You have a sequence diagram that shows how the different calls are being sent. You have an activity that you have all these different diagrams. It's a family of diagrams. That's UML, right? So if you want to show a diagram for a particular purpose, you can choose of the many different options that are all under the umbrella of UML. So UML is not the same as process flow. It's not. One is a family of different diagrams or different things, and process flow just means for the process, to model what the process is doing. Hope that was clear.
Yeah, it's very clear. Do you have a course that like explains this?
Oh, so I'm sharing my screen, but I don't have a course here. But I do have on Karaleise.com, I have an article on creating process flow diagram with an example, a case study, and I have a video that also walks you through that. So yeah, you could do that. Matter of fact, yeah. Okay, cool. All right, we're almost out of time. Any last question, burning question from anybody? Let's see what you guys were talking about in the chat. And I know, Joshua, you had sent me the link to the idea board, which I am trying to find right now. Okay. Yeah, so the idea board had a couple of things on it. So by the way, guys, if you sign up or you got the email, we would have sent you a link to the idea board. Idea board is just a place that you can put your answer if you're not in the meeting. So what's going well, what's not going well, what's blocking you? So what's going well, somebody says, hi Karaleise, I'm a new mom and your videos have inspired me. I have a BCS BA certification before the birth of my child since July 2023 and haven't found the confidence to pursue the career. What is going well is I have gained confidence in pursuing my BA career. Very good. From your YouTube videos. Thank you so much. Yay! I love these comments. If anybody wants to compliment me, go right ahead. I love it. I love it. All right. What is not going well? What is not going well is that I do not understand how to do process maps, UML, etc., which is what somebody just talked about. So right on time. Yeah, so I have articles, guys, on process mapping. It's, I understand if you're a new person to the field, it might seem challenging, but I promise you that for me, designing a process map is so much easier than writing user stories. Like, it's probably easier for me. I mean, I'm not saying for everybody, but if we just think about what is the process I'm trying to do and what are the steps I need to follow, it's not, it's something that you can learn. You just need to practice, you know what I mean? I think it's a matter of having good examples, good case studies to follow, and then you'll be able to do that. Because so many people struggle with it, and I don't think it should be, it shouldn't be something that you struggle with that much. I have case studies, so I'm trying to find it here, but if you go to Karaleise.com and you search for process maps, I have an article that I walk you through an example of a problem and then how you design the process map to match that problem. Where you have loops, where you have, things that go to the end, just being able to map that out with a very concise process diagram is what is in that example. And I have a video on that as well. So you can hear me walk you through it so you can really understand the case study a little bit better. And since I know people are struggling with this, maybe I'll create more content around process mapping, because I didn't think that it was going to be such a challenge for people, so I have overlooked it. But now that I'm hearing it more and more, I'll probably do more content on process mapping. And when we do the insightful, we can make that the topic of insightful and just work through that. And so by the time you leave that one one session, you should be good. Like the insightfuls help to like concentrate your attention on this one item or this one technique so that you get it, right? Because otherwise you're watching this video, watching that video, you pause here, you do something, but you get little pieces of it. With the insightful workshop, just give me your brain for like 4 hours. And when you leave, if you invest that time in yourself, you know what to do. So we'll probably work on that. But yeah, don't be intimidated too much about the process maps. I think it's a matter of practice. And once you've done it 1 or 2 times, I think you'll get it. All right. Okay. What's not going well? How do I? Sorry, somebody saying something? No? Okay, I thought I heard something. Okay. How do I scale through a business case interview during the recruitment stage? Okay. So when you get the job interview, they'll probably ask you to come to like a basic interview and they ask you some questions about the career and what you've done in the past, etc. And if they really like what they heard, they'll move you to the next stage where they give you like a case study. And I have a consult for this called the interview presentation guide. Because in that case study, they normally give you a problem and they want to see how you do the analysis of that problem, right? And that's going to reveal to them your ability to be a BA. So, one, you can do the consult where I can walk you through how to think about this. Or you can look at some of my case studies that I have for free on my YouTube channel and see if you can glean anything from that to help you in your interview. Most people don't want to take the chance and they come and do the consult, and that's fine. But you really have to show them that you have the skills to take a very ambiguous problem, high level problem, and work it down to the detail. That's what they want to see. So typically when they give you these case studies, it's like vague. It's a big problem that you never worked for them before. You don't know about their products. You don't know about their staff. You don't know about nothing about the company. But they expect you to take what you can from what they give you and share with them how you would do the analysis on a project like that. So it's a little bit of a daunting task, but we've worked through it. Lots of people have gotten this kind of case studies. They've come to me. I've helped them with it to think through it. And when I help you, I'm not telling you the answer. I'm helping you to understand how to think about it. So whatever question they ask you in the interview, you are ready. When the people who consults with me, when they leave, they don't have any doubt about what they've done. So that you go to the interview confident. They can ask you any question at all. You will know how to answer because you did it yourself and you understood how you got there. So that I would encourage you to do that. Okay. What's blocking you? She says, or somebody says, a friend told me about BA. He thinks I can do it. My question is, what should be the best way to be a BA? I have a Scrum Master. I think I already answered this one. I think this is the same one about the Scrum Master we talked about earlier. So yeah. So that's what we have on our idea board. Thank you all so much. Some people on the live, I didn't get a chance to answer some of you guys. You said, how do I have a one-on-one with me? You go to karaleise.com and you can sign up for the consultation. There's a big button that says start a conversation. You click on that and you'll see my calendar. You can choose a time when it's convenient to both you and I show up, I show up, and we discuss whatever you want to discuss. So, and there's a fee for it, of course, but you can do all that from karaleise.com. The other question here was how to join the back office club. So I think, Joshua, you sent that link. It's just backofficeclub.org and all the information is on that site. So you can find it there. What else we have? Can you talk me through the shortest way to develop a business case, please? The shortest way. There is no short way. It's a long way. So I have a course that's called Business Analysis on a New Project. And in that course, it takes you from zero to requirements document. So in that course, there's a new feature that they're new service they're building, and you got hired. And in that course, I walk you through how do you get started. And the first task they have to do as a BA was to create the business case to help the organization know whether or not they should go ahead with this new service or not. And in that course, I walk you through all the questions, the analysis, the competitive analysis, all to make sure that you're making a good decision, what your recommendation would be. And then the document is also in that course. You can download the document. and you get to see the students as well who are participating in that course, and they ask questions, and it's a very interactive. None of my courses are boring where you just listen to me talk. It's always interactive. There's always other people in the course who's, asking questions, getting clarification, so it's very lively, keeps you awake. So I would suggest you do that one to know about the business case. But I also have, I think, I could be wrong, I think I have a template of a business case on my website. I think so. But in general, the business case includes why you're doing what you're doing, the competitive analysis, who else is doing it and what are they doing, the cost, analysis, you can get that from your finance department. But at the end of the business case, it must have a recommendation. What do you recommend? Right? Do you say yes or no, and why? So the business case isn't complete until you have a recommendation that you're proposing to whoever you're sending it to. So hopefully that helps. All right, so we're well over time. I gotta run. I had fun, right? I had fun with y'all. Thank you all for being here. I am looking forward to spending the rest of the year with you guys every month. The first Monday of every month we'll be here. I look forward to those of you who are going to join the back office club to see more of me. We'll have more trainings and more things like that. And I'm just really happy that I can share my knowledge with you, that you guys have found value in it. I'm so happy for the people who have had successes in their jobs, current jobs, and successes in starting their career. So all the best for 2025. And I will see everybody next month in our Global BA Stand-Up. And in the meantime, you can look out for my videos. And also check out my podcast. I have a podcast, y'all. So my podcast is not the same thing on my video that's just on audio. It's a whole different vibe over there. I get way more wild over there. So if you like what you see on the video, you're going to love what you hear on the podcast. So go check out the podcast on Spotify. It's called Real World Business Analysis with Karaleise. And, I go really crazy over there. So you can go listen to that when you're shopping, when you're waiting around, when you're, optimize your time to become a BA. You don't have time to be watching Netflix. You don't have time to be scrolling mindlessly on TikTok. When you have any free time, use the tools that I'm giving you to soak in the knowledge, right? Listen to the podcast while you're doing stuff, right? When you have a little in between time. Watch the videos when you get a chance. Put the Netflix away. Stop the laughing on TikTok. All the little TikTok stuff and the Instagram reels. Put that away. This is the year you got to make the money. There are people out here earning the 6 figures. Why are you not in that list? You got to make it. If you don't have a job, this is the time to get the job. If you already have a job, excel in that job because you got to get your raise. Okay? We're not working at the same level the whole time. We got to get our raise. We got to make sure we're making money. And if you're not getting a raise over there after 2 years, get ready to go. Next job where you can get, 10,000, 15,000 difference. So your role as you have a job is to learn and to perfect your craft. So that when you're ready to jump, you jump. And when you're jumping, you're making a decision to jump to something that's better for you, going to give you more money. We're only having this job to improve ourselves, but we also need to make the money too. Okay? So that's my little advice. And I will see everybody next month in our next Global BA Stand-Up. Thank you, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.